Okay, so now we know that it's 0, -3, and I know some of you guys aren't done writing, but let's look at it. So at 0, our x is 0. Okay, so our new point is going to be our midpoint is labeled as x, y, and it's 0, -3. Okay, so my x's are 0, so I don't go over at all. Okay, and then I go -3. So do I go up or down?
Down?
We go down 3. 1, 2, 3. And see how that lines up exactly on that line segment? That's the midpoint of that line segment. And if we look at it, they look about like it's split exactly in half, right? And it should be. Okay? So I just wanted to take it back so that way you could see it is actually the middle. It's the middle of that line segment. Okay? But you cannot do like the cheater way and be like, oh, that looks like the middle, because it may not be. Okay, so make sure that you actually do the mathematics behind it and make sure that it's actually the middle. Okay, let's look at the next one. Sorry, I know we're done. You good? No. Okay, so our first point is going to be at what?
-5.
The x is going to be -5. What's the y?
2.
And I'm going to write it over here. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -5, and it goes up 1, 2. Okay, let's look at the other point. How many do we go over?
5.
Yeah, we go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my x is going to be at 5. How many do I need to go down? 1, 2, 3, 4. And my y is going to be at -4. Does it matter which ones I label x and y?
No.
No. Okay, so if you want to label these x1, y1, you can. If you'd rather label these x1, y1, you can. It does not matter one bit. Okay, so just to switch it up, I'm going to name these ones x1, y1, x2, y2.
But won't that be confusing?
Okay, so we're going to say my x1 is 5 plus my x2 is -5 over 2. My y1 is going to be -4 plus my y2 is 2 over 2. So -5 plus 5 is going to be 0
I was about to say, I got nothing.
over 2. -4 plus 2 is going to be -2 over 2. So 0 divided by 2 is 0. -2 divided by 2 is going to be -1.
So it's basically 0 over 1. 0, 1, basically.
What kind of one is it?
-1.
Yes, perfect. Okay, and we can look at that. So how many x's, or left and right, does it go? Our x value is a 0.
It goes 0.
It goes 0. Okay, so it doesn't go any left and right. And how many do we go down?
1.
1. So that means my midpoint is right here, and it falls right on the graph, and so we know that that's probably a good idea. Does it look about half? Because a midpoint is half. Does it look about half? Yeah, so it kind of gives you a good idea if it's right or not. Okay? Okay, let's look at number 9. Okay, number 9. I want you guys to look and or kind of feel it. Do you need to do all the formula in the math? Look at it. So we got 2 endpoints. Where's the middle? Yeah, it's at 3. Okay? It's right here. And on that one, you can clearly tell. So like on the ones that you can clearly tell, don't friggin' run through all the math, okay? If you really want to, do it, but you don't need to, okay? You guys know me. I'm not that type of person. That's a waste of your time and mine, okay? You still do need to write down the coordinates. So how many do we go over for the x's?
2.
No. We're looking at the midpoint.
3.
So 3, 1, 2, 3. My x's are going to be at 3. What's my y's going to be at? 2, because we got to go up. 1, 2. Okay, so that one was pretty easy. We could just look at it and visually definitely tell what my midpoint is gonna be. Okay, so on the ones that you're like, especially if they are like this, look at here. So if they are like this and they're a crooked line, you are not allowed to do that. It's like a general rule of math. If they are exact straight line, either this way or this way, you totally could count, okay? But on the crooked lines, and we're gonna learn about it tomorrow, the distance is not always exact because you're counting diagonal, okay? So you can't say, oh, I'm going 6 diagonal. You're not allowed, you can't do that, okay? Because it doesn't actually work. Okay, so like 11, are you allowed to just count?
You skipped number 10.
I know.
Right, because 11 is a straight line.
So look at 11. Do you need to do all the math for 11?
No.
Okay, what about 10?
No.
Yeah, because it's a diagonal. Because 10's a diagonal line, you have to do the math for it. But if it's horizontal like line or a vertical line, you don't have to do the math for it, okay? So look at 10. Right? Yeah. Okay, 10. What's my first x coordinate going to be? How many do I need to go over? Because we always start here at 0, 0.
-3.
So we're going to go back 3. So 1, 2, 3. And how many do we go up or down?
None.
None. Our point's right here. So it's going to be -3, 0. Let's look at the other coordinate.
Okay.
So how many do we go over?
3.
Let's count. 1, 2, 3. And how many do we go down?
4.
4. So is it gonna? Am I gonna write 4 or what am I gonna write?
-4.
You gotta write the -4. Okay. What's our next step gonna be?
Over 2.
Close. We need to do something before that. What's our very? I don't want to say first step, but on all these problems, label them. Perfect. Okay, because we need to be able to identify which ones are x's and y's. So I got x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay, what's my x1? -3. And my x2 is going to be 3 over 2. Sorry, I didn't brain fart. And then y1 is 0 plus -4 over 2. Okay, so for the top on this one, -3 plus 3, it's going to be 0 over 2. 0 plus -4 is going to be -4 over 2. Okay, so on this one I got 0. What's -4 divided by 2?
Wouldn't it just be a -2?
-2, perfect.
4 over -4, -2. Oh, 0, -2.
Okay, I would like you guys to put a big X on the back page. So sometimes I get ahead of myself and I think like, oh yeah, we can do all this in one day. Yeah, today's not. It's not gonna work out. Okay, so put a big X on the back page. We might throw that in tomorrow, depending on how you guys do today. But so definitely edit that. Otherwise, I will forget. Like if you turn in your paper even by freaking Wednesday, and I'm like, what were they doing? Why didn't they do the back page? Okay, because I forget. So make sure you put a big X on the back page. I think maybe you guys only have 4 problems to do. Okay, I could be wrong. I don't really know. I want to say 4. Okay, so work on those 4, and then write your name on it and turn it in. Hold on just a second.